ask for love, when you ask for finance, when you ask for things to be more than what is in present in that moment, it's a demand. And when you have something demanded, let's say you're demanding for love, and even when you have love, you will find after a while, the mind will go into that repetitive pattern that it's not enough. And you need to be loved, even in the subtle ways, in the most subtle ways. And you will demand again. So this is the time. It's very hard to let go if you don't let go of the demand. So let's start this practice today. Hi, Maria. Hi, Sage. Good to see you both. Hi, Madeline. Hi, Nicolina and Dione. So take some sitting posture or standing posture and very gently take that deep breath in and stretch the arms and breath out and open up the body. Few times, about 6 times. Open the rib cage. Don't force the rib cage to pop into the front too much. Just lift up the space of the heart. Take few more breaths so that we can release technically the energy of that demand that's stagnating in our body, restricting ourselves. The mind and the body is a tool. And I always say it's a tool. It needs space so that you can use the tool, but not get used by the tool. Now take that deep breath in. I did a beautiful stretch yesterday. So now very gently allow your left arm to stretch onto the left side, palm facing up. Very gently allow the right arm to reach up without bending that elbow, right palm to face up. And very gently push that right knee and right hip onto the floor and stretch towards the left side. Now pull the belly in and elongate the spine and very gently give that stretch to align the organs on this ecosystem into that space, releasing that demand so that you understand what is letting go. Take that deep breath in and coming back, shoulders relax and very gently chest open. Now very gently change the leg formation and elongate the spine. Allow the sitting bones to sit a bit more onto the floor. Shoulders relax and chest open. Now the same thing, right arm reaching onto the left side, right palm facing up, and left arm stretching up to the ceiling, keeping that left hip and knee on the floor, left palm facing up. Now this is my surgery side of the heart, so I have a lot of restriction on this side, but I'm just releasing the demand so that I can very gently enjoy the posture where it is at. You could see very gently, if you can go a bit more than me, that's fine. If you're holding a little bit more, bring that space, understand the mind and the body where it is today. Now very gently take that deep breath in and coming back, shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently moving into a seated cat, curve the spine, bit more back, almost that you're losing the balance, but you're using the pelvic floor. Breathing in, shoulders roll back, opening up that chest, shoulders relax and just open. Breathe out, stomach pull in, curve. Engage that pelvic floor. Very gently now, anus lock, navel lock, throat slightly lock in that space, not restricting. Back to the center, shoulders roll back, opening up that chest. Shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently take that deep breath in and coming into the Vishnu Mudra on the right side, very gently closing the nostril on the right side and breathing out through the left side. Now breathing into the 4 count, holding the breath, closing the left nostril for 16 counts. If 16 counts are too long for you, whatever you can hold. Breathe out very gently on the right nostril to 8 counts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing into 4 count on the right nostril. In, 2, 3, 4. Closing the nostrils very gently so that you don't suffocate. 16 counts. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Breathing out through the left nostril, opening up 8 counts. 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing into 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. Gently holding for 16 counts. I'm jumping up the numbers because I am talking. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Out 8 counts on the right nostril. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 4. Hold 16. Out 8. In 4. Hold 16. Out 8. In 4. Hold 16. Relax the body, no demand on the body, no demand on the breath. Out 8 to finish. Gently preparing yourself into the space of the class. Now the second breath on the postures is the Ujjayi pranayama. It's like a fogging breath. You take a deep breath and you're fogging a mirror like, but instead of opening the mouth, you close it and activate the same level of the gloitus to breathe out. It's like this. So this will give you the breath so that it will allow the mind to settle into the posture, allow the body to settle into the posture without restricting and triggering and reacting from the restriction of the difficulty. So this is the best way to let go of the demand of the practice. Okay, so yesterday I did 3 postures, Ujjayi pranayama, Anuloma Viloma, and Brahmasti. So now take that deep breath in and very gently allow your body to relax and very gently stretching that left leg into the back, keeping the right hip open. This is a great way to start the class. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. Very gently. So Darren will guide you through the postures. So this is very gentle way of finding to be in that present moment. Shoulders relaxed and take that breath to very gently letting go your demand on this very, very moment, in this very, very practice. So this is answering for 20 emails and 4 messages. So anytime that you have a demand on this very practice, to give you something or to remove something, there will be suffering. You like certain people to go out of your life quickly. You want to find that relationship very quickly. You want to find that place, the house, the vehicle, the lockdown. So very gently observe what you're going through sacredly. Very gently breathe out, drop the elbows, walk those palms into the front. Very gently allow that chain to the condition, change to the demand, chained that you're holding. Ankles are locked, wrists are locked, because the conditioned mind is locked and it is holding demands, ransom on you. So the problem is that where there is a demand, you will completely miss the fortune of the present moment. Fortune of what? Fortune to be liberated, fortune to have access to life, fortune to breathe, fortune to not allow the body to go into the chaos. Very gently, palms facing down. Shoulders relaxed. Very gently walk those palms towards you. Take that deep ujjayi pranayama into a plank. Stronger on the pelvic floor. Today I'm changing the posture. Breathe out to the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards a down face. Shoulders relaxed and just open. Release the demand. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Very gently, left knee onto the floor. Take that deep breath in and right arm reaching into the front, up to the ceiling. Right arm reaching into the back, touch the floor. Right leg up. Left arm stretch into the front, head align. Observe that right hip is not tilting too far. If that is energetically, lift up the left hip to balance it out. When one side is working, the other side goes out of balance. That's the human nature of doing things, demanding things. So see what is gone out of balance because of your demand. Extend, flex that right foot to get the extension properly on the lower back of the leg. Now very gently palm onto the floor, knee onto the floor, breathe out to a gentle cat. Anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the soft part of the palate, where the pituitary and the pineal energy moves into that space, completely coming into that sacred understanding, not to demand. Even subtle ways. Demand can reset. Even you're getting what you want. Breathe out, tuck the tailbone under. Navel lock. Anus lock, throat lock. Breathing in, shoulders relaxed, chest open. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Neutral spine. Rotation to the hips, to the digestion. Releasing that subtle demand that you have. Never enough. Remember, demand is very cunning because demand belongs to the mind. So it reasserts itself. And you will always demand things. But as soon as you let go, as soon as you're finding in the practice that you're getting the tools, And what you're really suffocating or depleted is already there in the air, in the body, but you're not trained to look at it because you're conditioned to be your demands. While rotation to the other side, breathing in, push the hips into the front and into the back, breathe out few times, warm up, release that demand. The mind is afraid to let go of its demand because the mind thinks that if it is let go, it is not going to get what it wants. So as if demands work, this is not the way things work. Stop chasing the peace, stop chasing the practice, stop chasing everything what you're chasing now. Palms facing up, stretch the spine back, allow the hips to drop. And allow that space of the heart to become into its full blooming. Now, what is the space of the heart? Is that the physical heart? Is that the space of realization without forcing things into a body or into a mind? If you don't have this and you're already a better person, don't start forcing things like forgiveness. Stop and be gentle in this very moment. Because some of you have said, I'm working on forgiveness. So this is again responding to a email. I need to forgive my ex-partner. I need to forgive. Stop forcing it. Stop. That's a demand itself. Can you see it? Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Drop the belly, soften the hips, breathing in into up face. Ujjayi pranayama. Breathe out towards the down face. Now bending one knee at a time and gently moving into that space, lifting up onto the toes, pushing down on the out breath to the heels. That sudden realization is dropping every demand that you're putting in this very moment. Even you're writing those emails to me, even you're texting those things to me, there is a subtle demand in it. You might not know it. You might be totally innocent to it. But the mind is very cunning and it will always come. Left leg up into the back. Stretch that left foot. Rotation to the left foot. Left knee to the left chest. Breathe out. Come forward. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow. Breathe out. Pull that belly that is stretched on the back. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the right elbow. Breathe out. Come forward. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Sit deeper. 6 deep cycles of breath. Every breath is a realization. Every breath out is a demand release. Wider, bend the knee. Wider. Ujjayi pranayama. Even you have a spiritual moment. If your subtle demands on yourself and the world, you have become confused again. Because of the true nature of being is obscured. It is as you start chasing the jewel that is in your own pocket and insist that you are a beggar, you have poverty, you don't have that. Palms onto the floor, shoulders relax, hips align, lift up the space of the heart, left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. Left reaching into the back, touch the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Keep extending the posture. Bring that right shoulder roll back a bit more. Allow the head and neck to not to force. Right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank, engage the pelvic floor, not putting the waist on the wrist. Breathe out, down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Right knee onto the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Opening up, left reaching into the back, touch the floor. Right leg up. Left leg up, right arm stretch into the front. Clench and unclench. Hold the posture. Keep the hips in balance. Right hip lifting up a little bit so that the left comes into the balance. Flexing the foot in the back so that you get a good extension, not pointing. Palm onto the floor. Drop the knee. Completely breathe out to a cat. Breathing in very gently, coming into a cow. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Breathe out into the space of the cat. In this very moment, in this very suchness, in this very fullness. Doesn't come as a result of anything that you're doing, is it? Tell me one thing that you're doing that is very rich in this very moment. It's actually undoing. Releasing the tools for a while. Drop the belly, tongue roll up. Upper palate energy, gaze onto the pituitary and the pineal energy. Breathe out to a cat. Anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Neutral spine. Rotation to the hips. Wider rotation. On to the other side. Coming into that realization that the beauty of this moment, the beauty of the self, beauty of the realization, the nature of the understanding the nature of the realization, not matter of acquiring anything, being held in a high regard or being seen or noticed. It is what you are. Push the hips into the front and into the back. Breathing in into the front, breathe out into the just allow that space of that blessedness, the experience, the depth. Let the practice sink you into that space. Push the hips into the back. But not as a question, not as an answer, just inquiry. Ask yourself, what am I? If I had a different body and a different mindset, would my demands be different? Have you ever asked yourself, have you mistaken all along by defining yourself as worthy or unworthy or as social roles that are played in your life? Have you ever inquired that you are your identity? Is it real? Because someone call you by that name, you respond to that name because you have a title and a job profile, so you react and respond from that. But aren't you burdened by this? Can you see the hidden blessedness, the nature of each and every being? Because that prayer, that blessedness, that blessing, that healing, it cannot be touched. But it is not hidden. In essence, it is overlooked because you are looking only at the mind structure, only on the body structure of a person and yourself. But is that something that because it's not in a structure that it doesn't exist? Or what I teach is for you to find this space within yourself. I'm not selling you materials. I'm not selling you ideas. I'm pulling you out of the slavery that you're slaving into without even knowing that you're conditioned into. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Very gently drop the belly onto the floor, breathing in into up face. Shoulders relaxed, chest open, breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in right leg up into the back, rotation to the right foot, right knee to the right chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right foot into the front. Shoulders relax. Bring those shoulders into alignment. Elongate the spine. Ujjayi pranayama. Remember the fogging without opening the mouth. Remember to activate that gluteus. The thyroid is much more powerful than what you think. It actually keeps your nervous system balanced, not triggering. Arms stretching to the back. Arms raised onto the crown. 6 deep cycles of breath. Each breath out, releasing the demand. Releasing the demand. Letting go is not that easy. Forgiveness is not that easy. Until you find that space of releasing the structure and coming into the more of the space in you. You can acquire everything, but not God. If you're still in the structure, God as a realization, God as the energy source. Breathing in, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. Right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Keep your head aligned, left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Allow the head to take the same alignment of the spine. Left reaching into the back, touch the floor. Into a plank. Into a lower plank. Elbows tucked in, up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in, left leg up into the back. Higher as possible, turning the hip on top of the right hip. Left knee to the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Turning into the right knee is not folding inward. Taking a mudra, left palm facing up. Taking a mudra. Taking a mudra that you're not giving into the drama, not giving into the problem. Personality, the ego, the movement of the mind that is always trying to acquire something. Even God. Gentle arch. Back to the center. Elbow onto the knee. The mind acquires even the innocence. Can it innocence be bought or hold or held? No. It only stays where there's freedom, where there's beauty, where there's realization. Right shoulder roll back, right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the front. Now stop tilting that head. Very gently bring it to the alignment of the spine. Even it's looking up or looking into the front or to the distance of that finger. Right reaching into the front, touch the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Left arm reaching into the sacrum. Elbow pointing up to the ceiling. Now very gently sit a little bit more deeper into the pose. That's it. Now look onto the left shoulder, up to the ceiling from there. Looking down, palm onto the floor. Drop that back knee onto the floor, shoulders relaxed and chest open. Take that deep breath in, push the hips back and into the front few times. Very gently so that the groin is releasing the demand, the hips are releasing the demand. Demand on life or demand that you put it on, saying that life is that. Shoulders relax and chest open. Palms onto the pranam position. Coming into that realization. Arms stretch onto the sides. Palm facing into the front. Garudasana right on the top. Very gently stroke the third eye. Remind you that you are the one who are putting demand. Don't say it's a community. Don't say it's a people. Don't say this, that. Take the essence of this moment. And it cannot be acquired because it is the only thing that is going on. That is why it's seen and it's called as realization. Your realization, what always is, always was, always will, always been there. Anyone who has ever had a glimmer of that awakening find this is such a shock because you realize you always had what you were trying to acquire all your life, but you're simply moving into the toy of it, not the realization of it. That's why you want the structural demand of holding into something. When you say you want a partner, you actually want a physical person, not the essence of that realization that what that person gives to you. You're possessed with the item, not what he's serving. Now very gently, elbows pushed up, spread the wings wider and release those tensions in the body that you're holding, subtle demands, and touch the floor. Into a plank, into a down face. Breathing in into a plank. Drop the knees, stretch the spine back. Breathing in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Drop the chest, keep the tailbone up. Shoulders roll back, open that throat. Drop the belly, breathing in into a gentle cobra. Shoulders relax and chest open. Are you free to do Bhujangasana from the down face? Are you free to do this posture? Because you're letting go of the previous posture. Very gently coming into that realization of yourself. Not when you have a realization that you're giving it to somewhere, but into yourself. Overlooking into the left side. Overlooking into the right side. Back to the center. Very gently observing your own wealth in this very moment. Experiencing it without tempting the taste buds of the ego that now I have realized at that very moment it is lost. Breathe out, relax forehead onto the floor. Take that moment and release all the demands of the back of the body, front of the body, side of the body, breath of the body, energy of the body, nerves of the body, blood of the body, organs of the body. Directly looking into a part of your own being now. And release somebody else's demand. You need to stop playing your familiar role. Sometimes the mothers bring back that demand onto themselves, saying that they are doing for their children. Sometimes partners do that to each other. Sometimes parents do that to the kids. Whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's enlightenment, whether it's spirituality, because your identity know how to recreate, even to your own communities, even to your own people that you come across. I want you to look at that subtle demands. Things should be like this. You should be like that. You should be like this. Palms where your elbows are, breathing in into up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Very gently, toes pointing at each other, heels very gently opening up so that it releases the pressure from the hips. Very gently, palms are spread, very gently, fingers are spread. Ujjayi pranayama. Right leg up into the back. Rotation to the right foot. Right knee to the right chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right hip over the left hip. Right knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the crown. Palms onto the pranam position. Coming into that sacred space of elevating the space of the heart. And very gently stop pursuing, stop pushing. Very gently coming into that and stopping that very pervasive game of that human beings play to avoid stepping into their true self, stepping into their true realization. Now very gently turning onto the left, opening up into the Virabhadrasana that you have come into that mystery consciously, coming into that space of realization, and take a mudra to represent that greatest joy, that is allowing you to step off on the wheel of becoming the person, the identity, and releasing it from that. It is important as you're realizing who and what you are, and you're liberated. But your game still is in the mind. Now you have to witness it. When it comes back, some period of time, it will be there. You may not know. But again, when you're talking to people, when you're doing things, just observe that habitual patterns are coming back. Whether you enter into the work with frustration, whether you have the same identity of the other person, whether you have the same criticism of the other person, the praise of the other person. When you really realize you don't know how to talk to the same person and what to do, and your life may become unfamiliar to you. This is a very mysterious way to be. Gentle arch. Breathing in back to the center. Elbow onto the knee. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. Left reaching into the front. Get that elongation of the neck, head, so it's not just dropping. That's beautiful. Left arm reaching into the front, touch the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. Right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Drop the back knee onto the floor, holding onto the front knee. Shoulders relax and chest. Take this moment. You're releasing your identity. You're releasing the identity of that, what you have about the others. Because you're constantly in suffering and pain because you say, oh, that person is coming to do this. Or that person is coming to do that. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I like that. When you come into this realization that you no longer see people as how you used to see, you gently become into the realization of a baby Christ, baby Buddha. That you are no longer conditioned by anything. Not by society, not by world, not by mind, not by in, not by out. Arms stretch onto the sides. Clench and unclench and release the demand. Take the Garudasana left on the top. Very gently push the hips while holding the Garudasana into the front and into the back, and then settle into the alignment again. Take that deep breath in and come into the baby version of it. Imagine all the demands, all the education, all the experience that someone told you this was this, that was that, is taken out, and you're left with this realization. And now I have given you a fresh page, fresh life, fresh moment to see everything as new. So it's life when it's new. It's not staling. Why do we look old? Why do we totally gravitate towards that tiredness? Because nothing refreshing in our life. It's the same old story. So you only get age. You only get old with it. You only get stale with it. I'm not saying about aging here. I'm talking about life becoming stale. Push the elbows in, stroke the third eye, spread the wings wide and touch the floor. Release the demand. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling just to get that alignment. Open up the back, release the tension of the lower back, right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Into the back, touch the floor. Into a plank. Lower plank. Up face. Down face. Breathe out. Breathing in lower plank. Elbows onto the floor now, coming into a different plank. Elbows on the floor. And lift up the hips. It's almost like a lower plank, but you're not using the wrist, you're using the elbows. Palms facing into up the ceiling, just to open up that chest and the back a little bit. Now very gently drop the body, palms facing down. Third eye, relax on the floor, relax on the hands. Taking that moment of that realizing what you are. You didn't pop out of that womb knowing everything. Someone told you, someone conditioned you, and now you have become someone else. But now we are rebirthing yourself again into this realization. So of course it's going to be wobbly. There will be some insecurities to the mind and the body, because mind and the body only works on security level. Because it is not willing to be insecure. And that very moment you are going back again to your old forms, isn't it? And you call it self-protection. So very gently observe today, out of frustration, out of demand, how many times in a day that you go into the old self? Even you have a realization and a realized moment that we are all together collectively working on it. This is what I want you to realize. Palms onto the space of the elbows. Breathing in into an up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Now very gently walking those feet into the front. Very gently, bending the knees so you can come forward a bit more, keeping that upper and the back torso stretch. Now very gently bending the knee and sitting deeper. Bring those buttocks onto the alignment. Palms onto the pranayama position. Just try to roll the shoulders back, keep the spine straight, and allow that space of the heart to elevate. Throat open, back of the neck open, back of the head open. Breathe. Now very gently palms onto the floor. And very gently take the block away and bum onto the floor, knees to the chest, breathe out. Shoulders roll back, stop curving into the front, lift up the space of the heart. There is a difficulty. Now don't go into the old patterns where you shrug the shoulders too much. Arms raise onto the crown, feet stretch up to the ceiling. Breathe out. Breathe in. 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 Breathe out, knees to the chest. Now very gently roll back onto the mat. Knees to the chest. Give a good rotation to the knees. Very gently allow those shoulders to not to go too much into the forward, to the future. Drop them into the present moment. It's not going to go back because there is a flow on the floor. Now very gently drop the knees onto the right side. Arms stretched onto the shoulder heights. Very gently. When the knees drop onto the right side, elongate the head and the neck and turning onto the left side. Breathing in back to the center, onto the other side. Breathing in back to the center. Left knee onto the chest. Just invite the left knee, right leg stretch away from you. Now take that deep breath in, forehead onto the knee, breathe out. Start activating the neck, start activating the pelvic floor. Now holding onto the back of the knee. Now stretch the head back onto the floor, flexing the foot and try to get the extension and very gently inviting that thigh and the knee towards your torso without bending the knee, without bending the knee. Allowing that hamstring to breathe, releasing the demand of the calves, the shin, the ankle. Now very gently bring that knee to the chest. Dropping that knee onto the right side. Using the weight of the palm. Left arm freeing from the posture. Left arm freeing from the posture. Shoulder relax and chest open. Just coming into that realization. Take this moment of your waking into the body, waking into the mind, waking into yourself. Coming into your realization, coming into your newness, coming into your freshness. Coming into that realization, coming into that newborn, coming into the sacred being. Coming into the space of letting be before letting go, releasing the demand as it is. Stop trying figuring out. Stop trying forcing realization. It's a demand itself, again coming back under the spiritual banner. These days, a lot of awakened banners are there. So be cautious of rallying with it. Gently coming back. Knee to the chest, completely breathe out and release. Right knee very gently inviting into the chest. Forehead onto the knee. Take a deep breath, holding onto the back of the thigh, back of the knee, and very gently head relax onto the floor, laying down on that relaxation, releasing the demand. Flexing that foot. Allowing that sound to move through you, not holding into the net of identifying what is good and what is bad, what is praised and what is criticized. So that you're able to experience it with more and more depth, everything that is coming into your life. Because your realization of your own beingness, knee to the chest, and release. Very gently dropping the knee onto that. Left side, right arm, totally free from it. Coming that there is a natural space of that you're maturing, and how this realization function in the body, function in the mind, function in the world of time, functioning in the world of space, functioning. But it doesn't present itself all at once. What is needed is to be total trust in this maturing, giving it space and time, and that sacredness that the wine barrel comes, it become wine. The way we trust the babies become children, and children becomes adults becomes grown-ups. And the process of realization is like that. You just have gave birth to your new being, newborn, baby Christ, baby Buddha. Coming back, knee to the chest, and release. Very gently. Taking this moment, palms facing up, feet very gently apart. Allowing yourself to release all the demands of the body, all the demands that what you do, what you force, what's needed to be done. This is a practice of undoing. I'm sure there are so many education and places that gives you how to do things. I'm just teaching you the bliss of a space of undoing things, taking a break from the same doing that creates all these things and coming into that stagnation, coming into that dead end. Maybe my one is more a foolish one because it doesn't sit with the world, but it allows you to, the world to sit. You're a person in the world, but you are not. So that is the liberation that you have. You can be, but you don't have to be. Very gently bring the knees to the chest. Rub the spine, very gently releasing the tension of the lower back, middle back, upper back, that you have put tension and demand. All your thoughts are energies. Energy of realization, energy of demand. Energy of demand just comes into a place of restricting the body, restricting the breath. And these times you should have less and less restrictions in the body, in the mind, and in the breath. So your lungs can breathe. Your immune system can take and do what it's meant to do. Rock the spine coming into a seating posture. Take a deep breath in, shoulders relax and chest open. Twist the spine to the left. Shoulders relax and chest open. Back to the center. Change the leg formation. Twist the spine to the right. Back to the center. Shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, massage the back of the skull, release any tension and demand. Open and close the mouth wider. Release the tension of the teeth, jaw, tongue. Chin to the chest, breathe out. Breathing in back into the center. Stretch the neck to the right. Release the tension of the left side. Right shoulder. Try not to pull the right shoulder up. Just allow the neck to drop, head to drop. Breathing in back to the center, onto the other side. Back to the center. Very gently using the index fingers and very gently shuttling the ear cartilage and taking a deep breath in and breathe out and do an internal humming to release that tension on the mind, the brain. Release the index fingers. Arms very gently raising, resetting into the space, into the moment. Breathe out and touch the floor, the sacred earth that the body and the minds are in its karmic journey. But they both are tools. They are not who you are. So guide the tools, not to create furthermore karma, but coming into that realization. Taking a moment to worship that sacredness in that physicality and non-physicality and the realization that sacredness lives. Totally a trust as a baby that had it and you are a great adult now. So same with your spiritual realization, having that trust that it will work its journey through meeting great people, being in great spaces, and being in these times. The restrictions are to avoid these times and experiences that you feel that you're stagnated, but you're not. One day you will realize these times were great once it's past, and they taught you something to connect to us in this time, even virtually. The essence is same. Gently coming out of your physical practice. Palms onto the Namaskar position in self-realization. See the innocence of everyone. Namaste.